Phill, Bristol here this weekend, and 7 years ago they were here last time in the league, in a game that you remember well, I'd imagine.
Well, yeah, I suppose pretty well. Sticks into mind. It was good night. Not the best rugby play that night, but we came out on top of that game, so hopefully we can do the same this weekend.
Fast forward it to present day though, and you're in a great position heading into this last month of the season now. 4 games to go, and a home semi-final's got to be the target, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. We've put a lot of hard work in this season so far, so it'd be disappointing to let that slip now. But again, we just got to kind of take it game by game, as everyone always says. But this weekend's massive for us, so we've got to really concentrate on that. Make sure we're getting things right here on the weekend, and then move on from there.
You may be opposite ends of the table, but it's a local derby, and Bristol are fighting for their lives to stay in this very division. That's going to make them a real threat.
Yeah, I expect everything. They're going to lay it out on the line, and as you'd expect, really, it'll be a good atmosphere here. A lot of people come to watch, and they're not going to want to just shy away and sit in the background and watch us play. They're going to want to be part of that and make an upset and play what they play.
Recharge the batteries the last week or so, but what's been said in the aftermath of Sale? I know Rob was a bit critical of you boys, even though you picked up a 5-point win. He didn't think performance level was quite there what it needed to be.
Yeah, it was a tough game, and we can be critical ourselves. We know that there was areas in that game that we let slip, and we could have really improved on, and maybe made that not more comfortable but more convincing performance for ourselves. But I think we still played some really good stuff in there. We can't forget that. We've got to carry that through and remember the good stuff that we can produce, and make sure we do that more consistently. I think is probably the overall improvement from that game is making sure that when we've got the ball we look after it and put the opposition under the cosh.
It's quiet here now, but it's going to be a sellout of the weekend. The derby atmosphere, everything. It's going to make for a great occasion, and as players, you must relish in that environment.
Yeah, it's always great here when it's full, always loud as well. So it's brilliant to play in an atmosphere like that. And hopefully we can kind of add to that with the brand of rugby that we produce and the physicality and the performance that we put onto the pitch on the weekend.
Have you learnt from last season, in particular, that last sort of run-in of what took you to the final, of lessons been learnt in that aftermath and the experience that you now know what to expect?
I think the way the build-up to the final went, we were really happy with. We put everything on the line. Obviously disappointed with losing in the final, but there's no major learns again of how to completely change things. We just tinkered with a few things, made sure we improved across the board, and that's probably something we've done over the like I say 7-8 years, is make sure we make small improvements across the board all the way, and that's produced us where we are today. And
obviously home advantage is key. 2 of these last 4 games are here. You've got to make the most of that, haven't you?
Yeah, I suppose we want to try and win every game, and having 2 games at home is good for us. But again, everyone else at this stage of the season is wanting wins, so we've got to just make sure that we're right on it and going for the wins ourselves.
A term that Rob and some of you players have used is things are in your own hands, which is the way you want it to be going into this. You know what you've got to do. If you keep winning, you're going to be in that last 4. You're going to be in that last top 2.
Yeah, I think so. Whereas last year was a bit of a surprise for us getting that home semi, and whereas this year we've kind of made strides earlier in the season than we did last year, and I think we've consolidated a good position. But again, we can let everything slip if we're not on our mettle.
Finally, reflect on that sort of 7 years ago, that whole experience of playing Bristol in that championship final, and what it meant to you as players. You're one of the few that are remaining at the club on that night. Was it something that really lives with you still?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, you can't kind of look back and think, oh yeah, we knew this is what was going to happen. It was trying to get out of that league, trying to win the league, trying to win the finals and the playoffs, and then we thoroughly enjoyed it. But again, looking back now, you weren't imagining then where we would be now. So
it's been a journey though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a great journey. It's remembering that and making sure we take stock and kind of appreciate where we are now, and make sure we don't let that slip.